Welcome to Hot Topics on the Edge of Show. I'm Richard Carthon. I'm joined with my co-host Josh Krieger.
Coming up, tokenization, a $5 trillion surge, plus DeepSeek AI shakes tech. Podcast domain empowers creators, and NFTLA is coming back.
This is another production of The Edge of Company, a rapidly growing media ecosystem empowering the pioneers of Web3 technology, culture, and innovation.
Let's get to it. What's first, Richard?
All right, so for our first topic, we're going to be talking about an article from CryptoSlate, from a guest article by Thomas Labenbacher, who is the founder and CEO of Visteria. And we're going to be talking about 5 of the most rapidly growing tokenization trends to watch in 2025. So, leading the charge is real estate and bonds. They're looking to see unprecedented liquidity investment flows, looking then into tokenization and reshaping how we think about ownership and trading and making previously illiquid assets more accessible to broader investor base. The next is fractional ownership. With being on a 24/7 trading blockchain platforms, it's probably going to attract 20 to 30% more retail investors, which is great to get more money flowing into the space. And 80% of institutions are likely to integrate tokenization into their own strategies. I know that I've even seen people like from JP Morgan that are talking about how they're looking at cryptocurrency more aggressively. So, Josh, as you look at these kinds of trends, what sticks out to you?
Well, I think Thomas makes some good points. First of all, we don't always agree with all the various publications that we present in the show, but in this case, I really do think the storyline for 2025 is institutional adoption. We've seen institutions like Franklin Templeton come into the space, not to mention the ever expanding sort of presence of Grayscale. So this idea of sort of cross market trading, this possibility of more maturity in the markets overall because of institutions, I think this is a good thing. We have seen a tremendous amount of volatility in the cryptocurrency industry and with launches thus far in this quote bull market. So to have that institutional volume and liquidity, I think is at this point, I think we can all agree needed for our industry. What are your thoughts, Richard?
Yeah, I like some of the
Some of the
different
topics.
topics that he mentioned in this. The one that I'm going to lean into is the institutional participation. One of the biggest challenges from your large institutional money coming in has been not clear guidelines around regulation, how the SEC was going to treat things, and their ability to get involved. That has already escalated from 2024 with Bitcoin ETFs being passed, Ethereum ETFs being passed, and in 2025 there might be even more uh, ETFs that come to play, such as Solana, even XRP, and several others that might come out. So I think a lot more money is going to flow in. I think things that weren't mentioned that I think could have made this list was the intersection of crypto, blockchain technology, and AI. I think that's also going to continue to surge in this as well. But on the subject of AI, that's going to bring us to our second news article, which is NVIDIA's massive market drop and the rise of DeepSeek AI. So just days ago, DeepSeek's R1 model sent shockwaves through the AI tech world, shaking investor confidence and wiping out over $1 trillion off the Nasdaq Composite Index. NVIDIA alone lost 600 billion, biggest single-day market loss in U.S. history. Alphabet and Microsoft were also part of the casualties from the day. What's crazy is that DeepSeek AI built a model rivaling OpenAI's O1 Mini at a fraction of the cost, just 5.6 million compared to OpenAI's hundreds of millions of dollars that were put into it. So I want to kick this one off because I personally spent time this weekend uh, looking into both. So what is amazing, I use ChatGPT pretty regularly, and when you put in a prompt and you put information, usually it says it's thinking, and after it's done thinking, it then gives you a result. What is impressive about DeepSeek is when you put in a prompt, it immediately starts writing out what it's thinking about, how it's going about solving the problem, where it's getting its resources from, and then it will give you its solution. But you can fully see how it got to that conclusion, and it's faster. So I think a kind of a way to think about this. Imagine uh, the newest iPhone just dropped, and they're charging $1,000, and then another company from China comes in, gives you the same iPhone, but it's better, and it's $50. That's kind of what just happened in this moment. So it's truly causing shockwaves in the market. Josh, what's kind of been your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, as you're sharing your thoughts, I'm thinking about, of course, Juicero. If you remember that whole fiasco where here's this amazing product, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, let's pile in money, and this is going to be the next sort of product," and then everyone's like, "Oh, wait, we can do this cheaper and better with other products that are already in the market." So I think there's a little bit of that type of shockwave, if you will. Now, as people reflect on the reality of the situation, I think there's always going to be different models for different purposes, and certainly there's a healthy skepticism when it comes to using technology from China. We've seen the TikTok controversy just continue, and what are the implications of putting proprietary corporate data into that model and getting ideas from it. Certainly, China stands to benefit in some way, no matter how you sort of um, see things. Inherently, I think there's going to be some uses for this tool that people just don't want to do, or would be ill-advised to do, just based on the potential risks there. At the same time, I think this is a healthy reminder of the pace of innovation right now that is sort of at this convergence of, you had mentioned blockchain and AI earlier, Richard. I think that this sort of is a reminder of how connected all of our industries are, as much as we want to think that there's separation of philosophies and thoughts. Everything's blending together. Number two, I think another interesting point here is, I think this is a signal of more rapid innovation in the blockchain space that we're going to see in the future as well. If AI is moving this fast, if quantum is moving this fast, all emerging technologies are going to move faster.
Yeah, I think those are good points. One more that I want to bring up is just that when Nvidia was one of the fastest growing regular stocks that you could have gotten into over the last year, and one of the reasons a lot of the money was going in was because of the chips. So there was a lot of sanctions that were put on China on certain chips that you could get, and so what was interesting was that DeepSeek had um, a lesser grade of a chip was able to have a higher performance in doing it at a fraction of the cost. So I think one of the other upsides that's going to come out of this is challenging how these AI large companies are going about improving their abilities with spending less money, being more resourceful with what they have, and honestly, competition just causes more innovation and it to happen faster. But this AI and like how it keeps evolving is just going at a pace that's going to be hard to keep up with. So just like you said, with that intersection of blockchain and AI, I think it's going to continue to make that better as well. But that kind of brings me into the third topic, which is getting out of the world of AI and getting into the world of what we do, which is podcasting. So we recently announced a really cool partnership that we have with Unstoppable Domains, and we want to encourage you to get your .podcast domain um, as it is out and available. So if you are a podcaster or a content creator or have aspirations to do that one day, Edge of Co has teamed up with Unstoppable Domains to offer the .podcast domain, a Web3 powered digital identity designed for creators. For just $10, you can own your own podcast brand on chain with no renewal fees. Plus, this isn't just a domain, it connects you to the decentralized ecosystem, which gives you access to exclusive perks and even enables secure messaging and group chats within Web3. Josh, what's been your thoughts on how this domain ownership and Web3 can shape the future of podcasting and how this partnership has been going so far?
Yeah, well, first, I do want to clarify, domains start at $10, but if you're looking to get a super sexy domain that has less letters, or could be quite popular, there is a sort of scaling process there. But it's a great opportunity for anyone that's a creator, any company, to be able to sort of lay their claim to a new domain that has, I think, infinite potential. We live in a world of content creation where everyone's a content creator. There's actually 4.5 million podcasts, I looked it up recently, that have launched, and in hundreds of thousands more podcasts launching all the time. We've seen celebrities get into it, certainly comedians, we all know about Travis Kelsey and his podcast and how popular that one has become. So the idea that you would naturally want to have a .podcast domain, I think, is there for the taking, and really exciting, I think, for the community. I'm really excited that with our rebrand to the Edge of Show and broadening to all these different topics, we can celebrate all podcasters, all content creators globally. And maybe you're not sure you're ready to roll up your sleeves and do this. I can say after over 400 shows, Richard and I are all in, but just get the handle. Park that domain for a rainy day just to have it, and who knows, maybe that will be the catalyst that you need to get fired up and start creating content.
The one other thing I want to say that's exciting about this is we recently did a show with Sandy, who is one of just incredible figure in the Web3 space and has been uh, doing a lot to educate others on what's happening in ways that you can become involved in Web3. And she made very clear in that recent conversation that the goal here with the Dot podcast is working to become an ICANN GTLD application. So what does that mean? So in the same way that you have like .com, .io, etc., you get the official ICANN. So this Dot podcast has the potential in the next year to get that official thing. So nothing guaranteed, but that's what we're working towards. And obviously, makes it all the more valuable and all the more longevity of having something like this. So yeah, the ICANN is very exciting, and as you will go on and see all the other amazing things that having these .podcast domains are able to do, you'll see why this is such an exciting time to be in this space, but also to participate in having these types of things. And if you want to go claim yours right now, the easiest way is to go to get.unstoppabledomains.com/podcast. Again, that is git.unstoppabledomains.com/podcast. But outside of what we do with podcasting, we also do a lot of events. And so we're also very excited to announce NFTLA Week, which is returning to LA in the epicenter of digital art, NFTs, ordinals, and crypto, is coming this March. So it's a week-long celebration that brings together creators, innovators, and blockchain pioneers to shape the future of decentralized culture by blending art, tech, and entertainment. What to expect: immersive art, experience groundbreaking digital creativity through interactive installations and exhibits, engaging panels where you can learn about industry leaders through AI, blockchain, and evolving creator economy, and finally, vibrant networking. Connect with artists, developers, and investors. So it's not just an event, it's a movement for celebrating diversity, innovation, and community in the blockchain culture. Josh, you've been doing this for a few years now. What are you looking forward to for this year?
Yeah, so we wanted to keep with the roots of NFTLA, and as the market in the US is picking up, do something really cool, yet more like a summit, a little bit more intimate than a giant conference. And so we're really delighted to go back and partner again with Super Chief. That's been a long-time partner. We just did Ordinals Tokyo and NFT Japan with those guys. They have a great gallery downtown. So the anchor event's going to be on Wednesday, the 28th, and tickets are very reasonably priced. They're early bird right now, so you can go ahead and snag them. Go to outeredge.live and get all the details. But fundamentally, I'm excited to sort of support the local community and get all the international companies and players to get to meet all of our great creators in LA. We have a lot of them, and some of them have had some tough times with the LA fires. We've talked about on social, and our hearts go out. Obviously, I'm in LA. Fortunately, I wasn't personally impacted, but we have friends and partners that have been. So there is a relief ticket for those that have been personally impacted by the fire, so they can come and not have to worry about another cost, and they can focus on sort of rebuilding, which is really where we're at with LA. It's a time to rebuild. It's a time to sort of acknowledge all the great sort of things happening in LA, what LA is known for: culture, entertainment, film, and gaming. Nothing's changed there. Still is a great emerging tech scene, a burgeoning AI scene. We want to bring everyone together, right after GDC and South by. Come to LA, hang out, vibe with the local community, and come to these special events. It's going to be a really great time.
I think so too. I'm really excited for it. And yeah, more news to come on all the things that's going to be happening this week. Just make sure you go check it out, outeredge.live / NFTLA. So that's going to wrap up today's discussion. We explored the explosive growth of tokenization, DeepSeek's AI's shakeup in the tech world, the game changing .podcast domain for content creators in NFTLA week. These stories are shaping the future of crypto, AI, and digital ownership. What do you think? Join the conversation on social media or drop us a comment below.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's journey through the hottest Web3 topics. We're thrilled to explore these innovations with you and can't wait to bring you more exciting updates and conversations. I'm Josh here with Richard, signing off. Stay curious, stay innovative, and we'll see you next time.